So on May 8, 10 and 12, Global are going to be up against some teams from Kyrgyzstan, Bhutan and Pakistan. First time ever a Philippine country has been in the AFC President's Cup. We know it's going to be in Cebu, Cebu City Sports Complex, obviously provided the inspection goes well. But talking about the team, you guys have made some massive transfers during March. Just going through the transfers first. As we know, there's only 2 players, foreign players, that you're allowed to use in the squad. Could you walk us through the transfers you made and how you think that's going to affect the team composition up to into the competition?
Well, obviously we were in a position that Global have quite a few foreign players in the team, so that obviously posed a few problems in terms of selection, and it's well documented that the Philippines are lacking in numbers for goalkeepers and central defenders, which again was causing us a few problems because the 3/4 of our defence is usually based on 3 foreign players, and the goalkeeper, in fact, 4/5 if you include him. So that was the biggest obstacle I felt and needed to address. So we brought Jason in, who's played the central defence for the Azkals on a number of occasions, and Joshua Boy, who's a striker, because again we're looking to fill positions that needed filling. And as I say, we've had to bring a few more in to boost the squad in terms of Filipinos, because we're fortunate in the way that we have Azkals 6, I think the last count there, but that's certainly a bonus having them, but it certainly causes a few problems. But again, we're having these problems, and I'm sure the other teams in the competition will be feeling the same thing also, so that's what I think was said. It kind of evens it out a wee bit, and we just have to make the best of what we've got. And we're trying to add to it. We've been unfortunate in terms of injuries. To obviously lost Sadia in the game against Kaya. They dislocated his elbow, which was the last thing we really needed, So, but as again, these things are there to test you, and we've just got to make the best of it. And hopefully we've got a strong enough squad that we can go in there and put on a good performance.
And how have the challenges more off the pitch been for Global, trying to get into this competition? Not only that you've got to go halfway through the season almost and take a break from the UFL, how have the off the pitch things been a challenge for the team?
I think one of the biggest challenges is actually getting the message out and communicating with not only the football community, but also the other teams and those around, in the league and all that, to see the reasonings behind Global wanting to be involved in this tournament. It wasn't for us to be, how should we say, big noting that we're in an international tournament and anything of that nature. It was more to say, okay, look, we have the opportunity or the ability, we have the contacts and the structure to involve a Philippine club in an international tournament. The offshoot of that is that every other club then goes, hey, we would like to do that, right? And it's been paved for us. We just wanted to create an opportunity or the ability for everyone else to say, do you know what? Let's follow them and let's go forward. It's not to try and separate ourselves or distance ourselves from anyone else. It was just to try and take football in the Philippines to another level. That in itself, though, has posed many problems. We have to demonstrate and evidence that we are in general, a whole community of football at a certain level. It wasn't how is Global doing, it's how is football in the Philippines doing. So this is the perfect opportunity for all the clubs to, band around each other and say, you know what, we might play in the UFL against each other, but this is a Philippine club representing the clubs of the UFL in an international tournament. So, get behind it and say, for this weekend, we're all one.
It's very similar to when the Sparks first played in the Singapore Cup. It was everyone really got behind them, no matter which club you were from in UFL. So we really hope everyone gets behind Global in this, because it's a really good opportunity. And with the players on the pitch, you talked about some of the injuries. Ed Sakopano also suffered a bit of an injury in the same game later on that, and he reportedly have stitches while on the pitch.
Yeah, because he was there for quite a while, obviously, so there was a deep gash in his head, so it was unfortunate, as I say, we've had quite a few injuries this season, so hopefully most of the players are over it now, and we trained today, and it was almost a full complement of players, so hopefully we can keep everybody fit. We've got a game obviously on Thursday against Green Archers, which I may have to shuffle the team round a wee bit as well, with one mind on the President's Cup without taking in away, it's another important game for us. The league game, obviously, which is something that we have to make sure we go out and perform well. But I'll certainly have one eye on the Presidents' Cup forthcoming, because it's who's going to be playing, who's going to be available to play is something that I'll have to consider.
You face an enviable task which a lot of clubs won't actually realise or maybe even pay due respect to at the moment, is that, you know, without the ability of having won the league, you don't get to play in the President's Cup. And at the same time, you want to ensure that you represent your country at a club level at a sufficiently high standard, so that we're not embarrassed, or so that we're not look like we were just in it to be in it. You know, so you have to try and balance. Okay, I want to do well in the President's Cup, and yet I don't want to forego our position in the actual UFL. And when you're playing 3 games in 6 days, whilst having training sessions in 35-degree heat, we're really going to be cutting it fine in regards to injuries when the squad is already at a bare minimum.
And how do you feel the progress has been, Eco, for Global, both in the league and leading up to the President's Cup, especially with the idea that you're only allowed 2 foreign players?
Basically, what I see right now is what Coach Lee is doing. He's been shuffling all the players. He's been testing all possible positions for his players. Although there's the risk that he might play some of his players out of position, but if it pays dividends, it will be beneficial for Global in the President's Cup, especially now that they'll be hampered by injuries and also the lack of foreign players available to them.
Do you have any ideas in mind, Coach, already, the 2 foreign players?
Yeah, I do, but out of due respect to the players, I'll have to speak to them first in regards to that. So,
don't worry about the cameras.
As I say, it's a difficult one, because it's not that I don't rate some of the other players. I'm just put in a position that you have to select 2 out of some really good quality players that we have. So I'll also have to take them aside and have a quiet word in their ear in regard to. You don't want to. I mean, it's a thing. I was a player myself, and these are the sort of tournaments you want to play and you want to be involved in as a player. So I can totally understand if some are upset and disappointed. So I would be myself, and that's the biggest thing and hardest thing for me as a coach to select that. But at the end of the day, it's my job to do that and try and position players in the right way, that they've got a good balance throughout the team.
Having said that, having said that though, each and every player will be going to Cebu, irrespective if they're on the team or not, and each and every player has made an agreement. If they're not part of that team or whatever it is, they're there 100% for their teammates. And going, okay, I might not have made it this season, and there might be a reason behind that. What do I need to do for that to happen next season? And there's no animosity between any of the foreign players going, okay, you know what, we might be missing out, but we're actually happy that one of our mates is getting to do that. And on a club level, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more to make the coach's job easier to select 2 players.
If anything, it's a good problem to have in the sense that you got a lot of good quality players to select for 2 positions. So good luck with that, with Global, of all of you guys. Because on May 8th, you'll be playing against Yidzin, Bhutanese League champions. May 10 will be the Pakistani League champions, KRL. Okay, KRL. And then on May 12th, will be, oh, my producer's already laughing about it, Doi Doi Bishkek, the Kyrgyzstani League champions.
Who've been in it, 8 times?
They've been in every single edition of the AFC President's Cup. So look out for those ones. That'll be a really good match, and we can really see how far the Philippine League has come on. And so follow us at FTW Sports. We'll give you all of the updates from Cebu.